What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday. Thank God it is Friday. Sorry for the sweater here. Just got done with a little job interview. Wish me luck, but hope you're all having a great week so far. Ready for the weekend, and of course, ready for this Week 12 matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Had the top matchups out yesterday. We went behind enemy lines earlier in the week. We talked about all the injuries, everything you need to know to get ready for this game. But let's take a look at what these teams are going to look like for this game. So, got the injury reports for both, game status reports, so you know who's out, who's questionable in this divisional matchup. Now, not really battling for the first in the East because the Eagles, hey, look, anything can happen in the NFL. But, you know, the Eagles sitting pretty, need to continue winning. But the Cowboys right now, their focus is going to be getting into that wild card spot. So, look, every team, is hungry right now. Even if you're at the bottom, you're looking to ruin things for other teams. So, this is the biggest rivalry in sports, ladies and gentlemen. You know they're gunning for us. This is their Super Bowl. You know they cannot advance past the first round, at least not in this century. But, hey, man, this is their Super Bowl. They're going to bring their A game. Let's effing go. And they traded for Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams. I don't care. We traded for Jalen Phillips, and we get Jalen Carter back. Hope to see you soon. Let's get into this on the game status report here for the Eagles, and we've got some good news, kind of. Up to a full participant today, Cam Jurgens. So continued to progress each day throughout the week. You had limited yesterday, full today, but he's still questionable for this game. We'll see if he clears concussion protocol. You've got Lane out for this game. We know he's going to be out at least like 4 weeks, it sounds like. Could be up to 6, maybe more. We'll see. But questionable is Hinton and Lampkin, who both sit on the IR. So Phillips good to go, just limited for that day, being precautious. So looking really good. Now, the injury lists for the Eagles only have players on the IR. We do have a couple players retired now that will not be on this depth chart, but you can see the players here, Hinton and Lampkin, both questionable. The Eagles have until tomorrow at 4:00 to elevate one or both of these guys, activate them off of the IR. I'll let you know if they do so before 4:00 tomorrow. Now look at the offense here. Cam Jurgens questionable. We know if he is out, Brett Toth will step in. Lane Johnson is out. Fred Johnson, this is your time, young man. So he gets an opportunity to go prove to other teams that he should be a starter in this league. And I love the guy, but don't think he'll be back next year. This is your chance to go out, prove it to the world, young man. But everybody else on the offense, healthy, ready to rock. Go check out the top matchups if you want my opinion on how this game needs to and will go. But passing attack, run game, all that great stuff we talked about. And then this defense matching up against the Cowboys. Oh, boy, am I excited. Got a lot of new pieces since the last time we saw them. So they can talk about their additions. That's fine. I can't wait to see ours. Just put them in the dirt. But no injuries there. So, oh, hell yeah. And then the special teams department. Everybody good to go there. Would love to see a little spark, maybe from Gibson, Shipley. That'd be great. Fantastic. Now, tomorrow, as mentioned, you can activate players off the IR, but you can also elevate players from the practice squad. You can do 2 of those players. We'll see if the Eagles decide to do that. They don't have to, so you could elevate 1, 2, none. We'll see what they decide to do tomorrow. Here is the list of players that they can elevate. Now, let's take a look at the Dallas Cowboys. If you have any thoughts, though, on the Eagles, you want to add something, please feel free to leave it down below. But I'm going to jump right into the Cowboys here, who had a quite extensive list, but one of those lists where just kind of making stuff up. Nobody's really actually that banged up. You can see here, they all practiced. Limited capacity at the beginning of the week. Full participant was Perry and Winfrey. He was taken off of IR. He was full all week. He's good to go for this game. You could see Hooker, full participant today. Fowler, full. Everybody was full except Clowney, who was limited all week. He is questionable for this week. And then they added Hakeem Adeniji with an illness. So he did not practice today, and he will be questionable for this game. So only 2 players are actually questionable for this one. That's a good news for them. They do have some players still on injury lists, though. So got a few on IR, got a guy on PUP list, a guy on the NFI list. So a bunch of missing players here, a lot of new players that they added, a couple former Eagles. You know they want to be just like us, big brother. So here are the guys you will not see on this upcoming depth chart. So let's now take a look at their offense. And as mentioned, Adeniji, he's a depth piece for them. So not a big deal. Everybody else is healthy for this game, good to go. No excuses. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you see Clowney, a recent addition. He obviously wasn't here, but they've got Fowler still. They got Sam Williams. They got James Houston there, and they can use all these guys. So, it ain't going to be any sweat off their back if he misses, but, having a veteran like him in the room, we shall see. And then we talked about Kalen Carson, Siobhan Revell, Deron Bland, Reddy Stewart really getting the action over Kyer Elam, and Trevon Diggs on IR. So a little bit of a different defense that we are facing. Looking forward to it for sure. Again, go check out that top matchup show. Looks like this. You can go take a gander at my thoughts on who the top matchups are for both teams. Get everything you need to know for both teams, their stats, standings, all that great stuff, the rankings. But here is the special teams department. And this is definitely an honorable mention for a matchup to watch. Their special teams unit, whether they're kicking, returning, they've got a good one. So we have to watch out there. And then same thing goes for them. They want to elevate two players. They can. Last week, they elevated Malik Davis and didn't use rookie running back Jaden Blue. He was inactive for that game. So we'll see if Malik Davis, if he even has any more elevations left. You can only use them 3 times, but we'll see what they decide to do there. You can see what their practice squad looks like. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is both game status reports for the Eagles and the Cowboys, their updated depth charts. And then, of course, tomorrow I'll be back with those elevations, activations, whatever both teams do. And I'll update those depth charts so you can see what both teams will actually look like for this game. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. You have anything to add? You have a question? Maybe you're a Cowboys fan just coming to tell me how scared you are. I love it. I'd love to hear from all of you, but I hope you're having a great weekend. Appreciate you guys taking the time here. Appreciate you hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, becoming members, hyping these videos up. All that stuff really, really, really helps, and I cannot thank you enough. You can always reach out. Does not have to be about the birds. Always here for you guys as you are for me. Love each and every one of you. And going to try to do a Fan Friday live tonight. If I can't, it will be a Sicko Saturday. I will get a damn live video in today or tomorrow before, of course, the pregame show. So just stay tuned for that. But if you need me, reach out. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!